All right, let's talk about something that's on a lot of people's minds: Social Security payments. In this explainer, we're going to break down everything you need to know about the January 2026 payment schedule. If you're one of the 70 million Americans counting on these benefits, this one is for you. Okay, let's just jump right in. There's a huge Social Security payment going out on Wednesday, January 21st, and it's going to affect millions of people. So the big question is, are you one of them? Let's figure that out right now. So first up, we're going to tackle the headline news for the month, that massive payment wave happening on the 21st. This is the one that hits the largest single group of beneficiaries. So here's how it works, and it's actually pretty simple. The Social Security Administration, or SSA, lines up most of its payments based on your birthday. If your special day falls anywhere from the 11th through the 20th of any month, then you can circle Wednesday, January 21st on your calendar. And this date isn't just for one group of people. No, we're talking about a pretty wide net here. This payment includes retired workers, folks receiving disability benefits, and survivor beneficiaries. The one thing they all have in common is that their payments are all tied to that mid-month birthday window. Okay, now this is a really important detail, something that catches a lot of people off guard, so listen up. If you're getting benefits as a spouse or as a child, your payment date is not based on your own birthday. It's actually tied to the birthday of the primary wage earner, the person whose work record you're collecting benefits from.
All right, so that's the 21st. Let's pull the lens back a bit and look at the entire calendar for the month. That January 21st date is really just one piece of a much larger and very organized puzzle.
And here it is, the whole Wednesday schedule laid out for you. Super simple. If your birthday is in the first part of the month, from the 1st to the 10th, your payment is coming on Wednesday, January 14th. If you're in that 11th to the 20th group we just talked about, you're looking at the 21st. And for everyone else with a birthday from the 21st to the 31st, your payment is set for that last Wednesday of the month, January 28th.
Now, you might be looking at these dates and thinking, that seems a little late in the month. And you're not wrong. The reason is just some simple calendar math. New Year's Day in 2026 happens to fall on a Thursday, and that creates a kind of domino effect, pushing every single Wednesday payment cycle to the latest possible date within January.
Okay, so that's the main schedule. But there are always exceptions to the rule, right? Not everyone gets paid on a Wednesday. So let's talk about the other groups who are on their own special payment dates. First up, for all of you who receive Supplemental Security Income, or SSI. Because January 1st is a federal holiday, the government can't send money that day. So your January payment actually went out early, on the last day of the previous month, which was Wednesday, December 31st, 2025. So if that's you, that money should already be in your account. Then we have another special group, our long-term beneficiaries. If you started getting Social Security way back before May of 1997, you're on a completely different schedule. Your payment usually lands on the 3rd of the month. But in January 2026, the 3rd is a Saturday, so your payment was sent out one day earlier on Friday, January 2nd. And this slide perfectly shows what happens for the roughly 2.5 million Americans who get both SSI and Social Security. These are our dual beneficiaries. They actually get two separate payments right at the turn of the year. Their SSI money arrived on December 31st, and their regular Social Security payment showed up just a couple of days later, on January 2nd. All right, we have spent a lot of time on when the money is coming. So let's switch gears to the other big question: how much? Based on the very latest data from the Social Security Administration, what does an average monthly payment look like now? Okay, let's start with retired workers. The average monthly benefit has now crossed that $2,000 mark, sitting at $2,013.32. For millions of retirees, this is the baseline number they use to plan their entire monthly budget. Next up, we have disabled workers. For them, the national average payment is $1,588.52 a month. As you can see, it's a bit less than the retirement benefit, but it is an absolutely critical financial lifeline for people who can't work because of a disability. And just to round out the numbers, the average for survivor beneficiaries is right in that same ballpark, at $1,576.20. Now, for SSI recipients, it's a different calculation because their benefits are based on financial need, not work history. For them, the average monthly payment is $717.90. And here is the key takeaway. The most important thing to remember about
All these amounts, they all include the new 2.8% cost of living adjustment, the COLA, for 2026. And this isn't a one-time bonus, this is a permanent increase. It's built into every single monthly payment you're going to get from here on out.
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the practical stuff. How does the money actually land in your hands? And maybe, more importantly, what do you do if there's a problem?
Yeah, if you're waiting for a paper check in the mail, you're probably going to be waiting a very long time. The days of paper checks are pretty much over. The SSA sends out nearly every payment electronically. The two main ways are either direct deposit, straight into your bank or credit union account, or if you don't have a bank account, the money gets loaded onto a Direct Express prepaid debit card.
So what happens if your payment day comes and goes and nothing? The money's not there? Or maybe you're not even sure if you're eligible in the first place. Where do you possibly go for help? Don't panic. Here are the official places to get answers. The best place to start is the SSA's own website, ssa.gov. I highly recommend creating a My Social Security account there. You can check your statements, manage everything online. It's incredibly handy. And of course, if you really need to talk to a person, you can always call their toll-free number.
You know, at the end of the day, it really all boils down to this. Being informed is your most powerful tool. Just knowing when your money is supposed to arrive and understanding the changes, like that new SOLA, is absolutely essential to managing your budget and feeling financially secure.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. Now that this permanent 2.8% raise is officially in effect, take a minute to think about what that really means for you personally. How is that extra bit of money going to impact your budget for 2026?